This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, I'll call to order the April 2nd, 2026 work session. To order at 6 p.m. Any additions or corrections to the agenda? Okay, and I'd like to make a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
So moved by Councilor Wagner,
Second.
seconded by Councilor Norman. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carried. Moving right into the Vernonia Lake Campground.
Okay, so this discussion is whether or not we apply. You'll see on the sheet with the highlighted green, I showed you guys on the third page is the schedule. So the application will be due June 5th for the large application. And then on page 2, you'll see that large grants can request a project maximum of $1 million. And then you'll see above that we need 20% match for cities and districts under 5,000 population. So we need $200,000 worth of match. And then you'll see the project types they fund. One is development, which is what we're doing. So if you look at the cost estimate, I gave you guys there's the full set of plans, but this sheet is the finished product. You'll see we have a spot for the park host, 3 yurts, 6 RVs, 1 handicap RV, and then the rest are tent sites and parking. And so you'll see that if we go to the 2027 escalation, that shows that the phase 1 would cost about $762,941. And that's primitive campground and utility improvements only. So if we went for that amount, which I think going lower than that is probably not safe. I'm nervous about going lower than that because if that's their estimate, and with who knows what we'll be when we get funded and we'd be constructing next summer or next spring and summer. Unless the bummer part is they don't tell you on the schedule, what did they say? It's like in November.
Yeah.
When they approve it, so we would, if they had approved it like in August, there is a chance you could get the contract signed and in a dry fall, they could put infrastructure in, but with a November date, we're waiting. Granted, that ground there is not terribly muddy in the spring. It's rock and that type of stuff. So there's a chance we could start construction earlier than if we were doing like, for the infrastructure, if we were doing a big all vegetative site, right? So the tricky part comes into, yes, we can ask for the money. Yes, we could probably meet the match with in-kind. Where does the money for the in-kind come from? So for materials and the man hours that we will be paying, that's the money we need to be trying to find in our budget. Parks, as you know, was not very good funding wise. It was a tight budget this year. So this kind of works if we're going into next year because we'd be earmarking whatever funds we'd be going for. So Parks only had like 16,000 in contingency. And so if you guys are a go, my next step, I've already replicated most of the documents that I need to submit. So the outstanding things would be getting Chris on pricing all the materials, right? And time estimates so I can figure out what I'm going to pay in labor and then what those materials would cost and then kind of estimate for next year purchasing. Or even we could winter purchase if we get the money. And then I need to send out to all of the same agencies that review. So that's like ODF&W, DSL, Division of State Land, SHPO, you have to fill out a thing for SHPO. because this site was a previous industrial site, my last SHPO one was like a no-brainer. It's already disturbed and they didn't find anything, so, that's already all prepped in a file because I just knowing you guys were gonna talk about it, preemptively went and re-upped, changed all my stuff, so that stuff's pretty good. So the money of where we would get it from, we need to figure out if you guys are a go, I'll get the estimates. Then I'll come back to you guys and say, we need about this much for our in-kind costs. In-kind counts as more because you can charge the certain rates and the certain blue books for the materials. Go ahead.
Can we back up and give a little history? Joe, what was the total amount of the estimated project complete?
For the whole project, in 2024, it was 1,105,000. But that was in
And
2020.
that's complete.
That's,
Yeah, I know.
that's in 2024. When we push it out to 2027, it doubles
Wow.
for what they're estimating our expense to be to buy a yurt 4 years later, buy all the stuff 4 years later.
Now, are we going through Oregon State Parks Measure 11?
It's
Grant program.
OPRD, local government grant. Same as we got the money to design.
Okay.
Mhm.
And that we were awarded, if I remember this right, about 45,000.
For the design.
Did we have an in-kind or a match requirement of 20% then?
Yeah,
Okay,
no matter, it's based on the size of your town.
right.
Yeah, whatever you're asking for, you have to come up with 20%, and we had cash for at that point.
That's right.
Ask a question about match. also?
Yeah.
So in here, it says that you can use any pre-development costs for the prior 2 years.
We'll be outside of that. Yeah. That's the messed up part is that when we were gonna go last time, but we didn't have the match or the money for the match, it would have been, yeah, in 2025. So, one thing that, and I don't know, it's not, if you look in the plans, there's a page in there that's just the sewer and water. It's not very much, because and it would also be electrical conduit, not the electrical, but the conduit for it. You see the page, I forget which one it is, it's very blank looking. No, keep going, it doesn't have any page.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. It just shows you the lines, the utility. Yeah. So that's what we would be putting in.
At all, 140, maybe now.
Yeah.
All 140.
So if you want to undo the clip and just pass that around, that's what we'd be putting in. So it's really just the water and sewer to the basically 8 RV sites and then some sort of stub out for where the bathroom would go, right? A bigger. So the work isn't terrible. It's doable.
That's what you're saying, that's our in kind
Yeah.
part of this.
Yeah, that would be our in-kind, and then potentially, what we probably end up doing is hiring, and it's up to you guys. One option I was thinking is hiring someone to do the cutouts, somebody that does cutouts, because really, if you want this design to show up, you gotta get somebody that knows how to cut land in that design. You can't just get someone that's, yeah. You see what I'm saying?
A good operator can do that, but these new ones can't. The computer won't do it.
You're gonna go in there and level that out, and then you're gonna go in and find grade. Isn't that,
Well,
these aren't cut in, are they?
well, you're gonna basically level it to one level, right? But then you're gonna cut where those certain things are going in, because you have to have a little bit different. The pads need to be a little higher than the ground in between,
Oh, so you want these in the.
a little lower, right? So I'm thinking you gotta get somebody and it's probably not my guys, is what I'm saying. It's probably someone we pay that has a little more finesse with a piece of equipment. And then it's a lot of material, right? So building it so that it's, you can asphalt over it and there's no problem, right? So coming in there, cutting the road in, putting layers of thicker rock, finished rock, compacting. So it's maybe a job we potentially have someone else do, not just us.
What you probably would suggest, and you can use this for that, you hire that cat again, you rough it in.
Yeah,
And we use that part for match. And then you bring in the experts that do the final.
finish, yeah.
Although
But the other thing
much
too-
compaction here though, then it's gonna be.
The other thing I was thinking too is there might be a little bit of surveying cost for someone to stake it how we want, to give us that line.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get the grades.
Yeah. So there's gonna be some surveying that we'll have to hire out.
Yeah.
I'm really not too worried about the camping areas because, this is the stressful part for me, right? Where there's infrastructure and when there's, bigger vehicles parking long term, you wanna make sure that stuff's dialed in, kind of like Anderson. Where you don't have that thing's lasted for how many years?
What's our timeline on the grant?
For
We
how,
got 2 years to complete,
yeah,
so. Yeah. Rough it in, put the utilities all in that we're gonna do, like go over the winter. To settle out, then do your final.
you can, but that's a little stressful, because what if you're at the whim of weather if you stall, because you're gonna have to put it in the finish no matter what the weather, if you put yourself in a tight time.
And what would be the drop dead date on that? Is it, you got all summer?
Let me see, hold on, I didn't look up that question, Dave.
Yeah.
I think you have 2 years from the date of signing, so let me double check.
Oh, well, we'd be really good, if we don't know in November,
Let me see.
or we know in November, you probably won't sign till December. So
So
you have two.
it worries me a little bit because then what happens if you have growth on your rough end? Then you're having to scarify it again. What if stuff starts growing where you're putting a road? I'd much rather do it all at once.
You're gonna be in there doing final grade, but if you had any slumping, like we talked before, especially with dug lines and stuff. Slump, it settles over the winter and then you could patch it up next summer.
And then what do you do? So the other thing I'm thinking is, what do you do with, you just cordon it off with barricades? Because that's
Yeah,
keeping people off it for a year. Ugh.
well.
Yeah.
the
You get
trouble-
somebody with cookies and the snow, and oh, that looks like a really flat place to go, and then I'm just, the stall makes me stressed out, but that's just
Yeah.
Now I
not.
understand.
Yeah.
Does the match have to be completed prior to funding?
No.
Okay.
It can be in time, in real
In
time.
real time?
Josette, I I'm kind of moving back a little bit.
Okay.
Part of the grant process, I think it's really important, and it's due to be submitted June 5th,
Mm-hmm.
correct?
Yeah.
I think we should find out when they're gonna have the hearing, that board, and then I'd like to go along with you, or I think they need some bodies to go and be a part of that hearing. So I think it would behoove us to do that, to have some bodies at the hearing.
Yeah, so
I'm
the,
assuming it's either in
So-
Salem or Brookings.
it's in Salem. It's the
Salem.
last week of September, or the first week of October.
Okay,
Is usually they do it, but sometimes they do it in August. The tricky part is you have this teeny window to sell your project.
okay.
It's not you're sitting in a chair and then they say, Vernonia, you go up there, you pull up your slides, thank you, and you leave.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm game for as many bodies that want to come. I don't know that we have,
Were you planning on going?
yeah, large grant, you have to present.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
have to go. So you have,
Good.
it could be,
Yeah.
you know, members of the parks, it could be
Yeah.
anybody, but yeah, when Scott and I went, I think, and I went as mayor with Scott when he was doing the bicycle skills park. He did the presentation, we answered like 5 questions, I said a teeny thing, and then they were like, thank you, and you're out. Yeah, it's like at a Radisson or something.
There's nothing detrimental to
Yeah,
having
more
multiple
people. No.
show up.
It's good.
It shows support,
Yeah.
but it also, a lot of times they don't, it's just ignored. It's like, you don't say, oh yes, this is my team of 83 people from Vernonia
Yeah.
support the project.
The point I was making is, I would just, if nobody showed up, then,
Oh, yeah, oh, no.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm still looking for I know it's in here, and just haven't
And
had
then-
time.
So
I think it's 2 years, Dale, but I don't know
That's
exactly.
what I seemed like I remember.
Yeah, I
2
just don't
years,
know
but
if it's
you're not
from-
awarded, even if they're awarded in November. You have 2 full summers.
Yeah, it's gonna be a while before they find it.
The tricky part too is they don't like not that you get any marks against you, but it stresses them out if their money is going into the end of that second year and not divvied out yet. And that's what our money would be, right? That's most likely what their money would be held until like when we did, forget what we did. Maybe it was dog park or something, and we had a swampy spring, and we were at the end, and they're like, when are you gotta spend this money. We don't like this.
So, compromise,
Yeah.
the areas that we don't excavate in, or we have a lot of compaction. So
You don't, okay.
So these areas here, probably, all this area here, that could all be done to final.
When we're talking final, are you, in your preliminary first season, are you putting pit run in on the road? Is that what you're waiting to slump? Because that makes sense to me if we rock in the pit run and then the gravel comes to fill the slump. But if we just leave it dirt,
No.
what is slumping?
And you could do that, because if you had some swampage, you just bring in another load of rock. and fill it in.
But to me, I like the idea of, at minimum, getting pit run in that shape, right?
Yeah,
Letting that settle, then you really know what you're bringing in
right.
as a final is.
Yeah, no.
Okay,
Then
I
you
thought
can
you were
come
just
in and bring
leaving
the
it
crusher
dirt
in.
for the first one, and I'm like, oh, that seems like a lot
Well,
of things
yeah,
to do.
I was, but there's probably no reason we couldn't bring the pit run in and get it all laid. But then you bring in that guy to do
The marking.
this final.
I won't be able to make it. I got a kind of emergency. I got to put a cow down.
Oh, sorry.
I'm sorry.
We'll send you the stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Um,
I'm just trying to think. Yeah, but before we come in and do the final coat of gravel, and it would also give us anything in this area that slumped down, then we'd have to get in there and fix that. Because that's where a lot of it, well, there's water stubs, all of these, aren't there? And in the road, but that, like I
Not
said,
all
you
of
could fix that with
Look
rock.
at your thing.
Yeah.
I think there's only water stubs to where the restroom's gonna go, and then the 6 camp RV spots, and no, it's the big sheet that you pulled. That shows where it's set.
Oh, yeah. 140.
Did you put it back?
Yeah.
Why did you put it back? You
Just
plugged it
being
back in
forward.
there?
Just ordering
To see where the water goes?
it.
It's not everywhere.
That's it there. So, yeah, we just crossed the road here.
Yeah, so this whole
And-
area,
And into here could,
you kind of want this roughed in, because these are where the bases of yurts are gonna go, so that's gotta be good enough to set a yurt on.
right,
But this out here is all just
yeah,
tent camp.
this is all, sort of be basically, once you get that roughed in, it should pretty much stay. So, these lines.
But I'm
And
thinking,
we'd have opportunity to come in and fix these spots that are beginning of the next summer. What would we have left to do? All we have left to do is put in the final gravel. Boy, they got some nice stuff too that brought me to the 3/4 minus a lot of fines. And,
Yeah, or find out where they got it.
yeah, and, so all we'd have to do that and then the landscape, right? All the
Yeah,
landscape
well,
stuff,
yeah.
that's in this
Yeah.
price.
getting the stuff started to grow, trees, shrubs, grass.
And I assume we're we doing electrical?
We're stubbing it all in.
Stub, but
We're
not
putting all the conduit in, they'll have to pull it when we have the next grant with the building.
water and sewer, it was all tacked in
Yeah.
this, but once we drop that in there, I don't think there's gonna be much more work.
Right. They're just pulling it in.
So,
They'll have
that
to
next
take-
summer,
The
just
one thing that
polishing it.
can you pull that sheet for me? The one thing I think is missing, and it might, I think it's on a different sheet, is the electrical. Right?
Oh,
So these are gonna have
The sewer is
electrical.
missing here too.
No,
There,
waste,
oh.
oh, it is upside down, sorry. I'm like, what? So, see, the sanitary sewer is here in the main, this is SS. So this is water. And that must be on a different sheet, but anyway. These are gonna have, you're gonna probably run electrical here and stub to each of these, the conduit for the stanchion. So basically you need 6, 7, 8, 9, 11 stubs. 3 yurts, 6 RVs, 1 car post RV, and 1 handicap RV. You gotta be 300, or sorry, 3 feet down.
Yeah, but I mean, I wonder if they can put it in with the sewer, in the sewer trench.
They don't let us,
They won't let
not when we,
Double
no, not, because they don't wanna be dealing with it. We don't wanna be on top of each other.
Yeah, probably not.
L-141 looks like it shows the gas and the electrical.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
So
so that's
we
where,
have all that trenching as well as the
Yeah.
water.
and the gas is just, also just a line for when the restroom comes for showers and stuff.
Right.
Looks like all the electrical runs out of the shower.
Or comes through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just a transformer or somewhere.
Yeah, so I think it's really just gonna be what is the conduit, checking with Westo, what are they requiring us to put in for them? Gas, getting those material costs, estimates of time. It's really, it's kind of a clean slate, it's
Yeah.
not hard to do when you're, but getting this kind of laid out in position, I think there's some expense there in surveying, just to have it done right once.
And yeah, I think you just, yeah, you're probably right, come in. We could rough it, hire somebody to come in, put the final grades in, and then we'll probably have to do some touch-up work the following summer before we put the crush in.
Yeah.
Or,
So,
depending on how bad it is, you just, some places have a little more crush.
right. And then I think that first summer, once those are in, you could start your vegetation, that's the bigger stuff, not the seeding, because that could get messed up a little bit.
I want a fall seed in.
Yeah.
type of sheet.
So, yeah, so then it's just cordoning it off, right?
Yeah.
Cause it's basically, you're gonna basically have this whole, they're gonna have none of this parking, really, while you're doing it. They're just gonna have an in and an out along that edge there. But that's reality, right? I
Yeah.
mean, the other thing you could do,
Well, they might be able to leave, I
no,
don't know.
not really. I mean,
What's
this
this?
is parking
This is
here,
all supposed to be parking here. I think once that roughed in and.
and you draw your line, you just barricade here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just bring it back a little.
Yeah. But all of this stuff's, at some point, you're kind of cordoning that off.
Yeah.
And maybe if you timed it right, you're not doing it in the worst of the fishing pit.
Yeah, well, actually, midsummer on, the fishing kind of dies off.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're doing your work when
In
it's
the
drier.
fall, it's the spring is when,
Yeah,
this weekend.
Right.
You look out.
yeah.
When they
Jasper
dump
got
it there.
13 yesterday.
There you go, yeah, cool. So yeah, I mean, it looks like the first year, get everything rough, get finals there, over winter. With repairs,
Mhm.
put in the final gravel.
I think if you're doing primitive, one of these is gonna have to be a stub up just for water. Like even if
Oh, yeah.
even if we put the water spigot / fountain type down there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Till we get money to do a building. So when we're talking about money, there's not a ton in parks. I was looking at. Parks SDC hasn't been in it. It has 76. So yeah, that'll be kind of something we'll probably get that information and be proposing in the budget. If you guys are a go to apply, we'll be proposing that transfer out whatever or spending out of this fund within the budget somehow. Or if it's too much, then we may have to pull from, I don't know, general fund. I don't know.
There's 52 grand in earthwork.
As an estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So. We captured
Um,
half of that in volunteer work.
Yeah.
And you chunk the excavation backhoe is 25 grand. And backfill and compaction, that's the boys will be doing all that, right?
Well, it depends. I mean, it's like the backfill and compaction of what? The utilities? Yes. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 38 grand. I don't know if they're talking about putting in gravel.
I think we should probably be doing best estimate and putting it in exactly how we want it to last the longest. If you get one shot at it, why not put it in the best practice? And not cheapen
So
out
I'm
on
just
that.
saying, if it's
Yeah.
gravel, then we're buying gravel
Yeah.
to do this.
Yeah.
So we're looking at about 152,000 match on that, 20% of the 760.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if that's what we ask for, yeah.
152,000.
Mhm.
So we're having the fire pipe.
And then the
hall,
man hours.
The dump station.
Yeah, and then there's a
I mean,
print.
there must have some labor built into some of this stuff, and we're doing that labor.
Yeah, so.
And we are paying these employees though. You know?
Yeah, so that's the money I'm talking about. To me,
They're charging it, yeah,
Right, those days were billed to different.
yeah, well, they
to
get
the
billed to
parks
us.
Instead of the regular water sewer.
Yeah.
part.
Oh, it's on the back of the manual. So yes,
7,500, yeah, we're gonna,
so there's all these different, right? So you fill these out per, right? So my guys, it would be a timesheet of what, so this is where volunteer labor or whatever, you submit these for, right, as your match, donated equipment, donated materials or supplies. That's where we track all of that. So once I get a value for what the supplies are gonna cost, and I get an estimate of their time, and then if we're gonna rent that machine, get that cost. And then, you know, if we rent it for 2 weeks, or depending on what it's cheaper, maybe we rent it for a month. So we're just, you know, because sometimes they charge you just as much from a day over a month for 2 weeks. Then we're not rushed. Then we're tinkering it in a really methodical way and not, oh, we only have 14 days to use it.
We need to talk to, find a pro cat skinner. What machine he wants.
Yeah. Right, somebody that's gonna help us, that'd be the best, but,
And then I presume you use loaded.
yeah,
Like both
yes.
wages.
You have a scale that you use for that they approve. Because it's not just, volunteer labor isn't just minimum wage, it's, I don't know, it's not like 18.51 or something an hour.
Yeah, there's-
But then if
helps
it's a
too.
skilled
Yeah,
labor, then it's whatever that rate goes for, yeah,
which is very,
yeah.
we need that. for small homes.
So,
They didn't,
well, you can't, it's just
Standard.
Joe Schmo can't just do it. So and then kind of get with Don and figure out, you know, if he's gonna mark topos and what that stuff would be for us.
Yeah.
ALS, what that cost would be, so I know that. But the
Yeah.
paperwork side is pretty much a slam dunk. It's not gonna be hard to sell. So camping and yurts and RVs are top 10 of the score from 25 to 29.
Oh, is that right?
So we're pretty safe in matching that survey and matching into what they want to fund. And yurts especially, which is weird. Because I think people are just out in the staycation
Yeah.
near home, and bikes and that kind of stuff, so.
Josette, is there any funding we could get from the county because of the CZ trail?
I don't know, they're so focused on really doing the bridge and going for funding for that.
Yeah.
And I don't know, they may be submitting for some of that work from the same fund. They're just so tight right now,
Yeah, I know.
that they just are like, pockets inside out, we don't have any money for you.
Yeah, it looks like we have to go through this kind of, why don't you come and see what we can flush out,
Yeah,
plus what we've got there.
yeah.
Probably not totally robbing that fund.
Right. So how much dirt moving around to level it up do you think needs to be done, Bill?
Now, once we get the grade shot, it's the back side of the burner that's really low.
It's the camping side.
This year's?
Yeah, probably from about here to over here.
Yeah.
Okay,
Back side, everything's gonna have to get pushed that way.
okay.
But you don't want to, and I think that whole front end, I don't know, I don't know what they're gonna establish as their starting point.
Well,
You're gonna set an elevation, and you're gonna go off of that for the rest of it.
Yes.
And you want a little slope on the whole work, so.
I'm thinking you start, is it weird
Yeah.
to start at the parking lot level here?
Yeah.
I mean, what else are you gonna come from? Something below that,
I wouldn't, yeah, well, yeah,
the trail?
well, I think you'd really wanna, no, you wouldn't wanna go trails
The
elevated.
trail's fairly high.
I mean, if you start from a higher spot, now we're talking about bringing building. You really gotta start,
No, I'm just saying using this as a starting reference and sloping a grade down that way.
well, yeah, you could do that.
That's what I mean.
There's a general slope, but I
I guess we could
envision,
have them shoot it now and see what it's at.
yeah, I envision now that all of this needs to be slightly cut out here. get enough to go back, fill the rest.
I guess they have, looks like rocks here, could we rub some dirt out of there?
How to work.
Where it looks like they put rocks here.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, is that showing like that's just the rock road? What is that? Doesn't really show it on-
Yeah, I think that's just showing the gravel around it.
Yeah, that's identified as border.
So this is quarter inch gravel. But that's good, I think.
Yeah, I don't know what that, I think that's just showing where the road,
Showing
where the
it.
hard surface exists.
Right, yeah.
Because see, it's this road that goes down back to
Right.
California.
You know, we kind of need, I guess my thought is, we need to figure out how much needs to be moved. We almost gotta have a starting set a pin and everything's gotta go off that pin
Yeah.
on your elevation.
Yeah, we got LiDAR data, we could, we could get a rough estimate off of that to begin with, but you're gonna have to survey it at grade 6 to the whole thing to
Yeah,
get it come out right. So we can see, like I say, where we start the elevation at out here. How much we gotta, and then
Yeah.
how much we gotta bring in here, right? You know, there's kind of a berm along there, of course, the boys have been borrowing from it. They filled in some of this, so, I mean, but that probably is gonna get filled in, so.
yeah.
But there's quite a bit that's gotta come this way.
And then this map doesn't show, where is that draw behind here? There's a draw behind here somewhere?
Oh, yeah.
Is it?
The one over here.
Yeah, but it's
But
not
we're
that
gonna have to
far.
run a drain to it.
Yeah, it's not that far
That's probably not even in our plans.
though. No, I thought it was in one of those. It showed the,
The drainage.
well, I thought they acknowledged it somewhere.
Or PVC, there's a drain line in here.
What the heck?
Let's
It's
see
gonna
how,
have to show stormwater channel, erosion
Yeah.
control.
So see, they have us taking it back
making
to
a
that.
channel.
Yeah, just so it just
is that,
says swampy.
so it's kind of
I think it is.
self-filters.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Goes back there to that ditch, close for quarter of a mile to get out.
Let's see.
I mean, we've got a, are we gonna be able to
I mean,
rub
that's a
enough
bunch
dirt
of
to
cat,
fill that in?
that's dirt,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe that dirt gets moved up.
and, you know, and the city with the dump truck and the backhoe could, that bring it over pretty easy for us, so.
Yeah, it says erosion control map for stormwater channel. That's in there.
Oh,
Stormwater drain inlets. Yeah, so it's in there. The oil separators are in there for catching that water and making sure it's under utilities. And then,
Oh, okay.
so I think they're expecting, because they have the earthwork is 52,000. It says balance the site, no haul off. So
Yeah,
that must be how they're pulling that dirt to bring up the low and carve the channel all at once.
the earthwork.
Channel, that dirt goes.
Includes that,
Camp.
yeah, yeah,
But see, then we could drop that in.
yeah,
That's a lot towards you.
yeah, yeah.
So,
And then I
I
think,
think there's some concrete over there though, that's gonna be maybe the problem.
you mean what? To pull it out?
Yeah, there's a concrete slab in there, I don't know how thick it is. Walk it, take a look.
Dig outside of it?
The guy can get under it, he can break it, you know, cat fight. Pop it.
Just go dump it on the piles?
Don't have much reason.
Yeah,
We don't want our big excavator.
yeah. So,
I think I'm gonna get a little bigger gap this time than the before. Cause it's pushing a lot of dirt in it, big blade.
Right.
well, and I think for the project's sake, I think we can have this kind of outline, right? So we're not scarifying any more than we need to outside of this footprint, right?
Right.
Because we don't want to just go smash all this if it can just be left, because that's gonna be the goal is, it's not just a bare field.
Right, but although you get your, that's where your drainage goes.
No,
I'm
I'm talking this, right?
Oh.
The drainage is gonna go here, but if there's trees that exist here, we don't wanna mess with those. We wanna like keep
Yeah,
keep
no,
inside.
this is your kind of property anyhow.
Yeah, but I mean, if these are trees and they're not in the.
Oh, yeah.
I don't
no,
wanna
we-
like,
Yeah,
I wanna kind of keep it as natural as we can and just mess up and
And-
grade.
I'm not sure, there's a berm that runs right along here. There's a berm that's 7 foot high along there, probably, and but it's nice and placed and it's got a few trees growing on it. I don't know
Where.
where it is in
Yeah.
relationship to
Yeah.
this. Because if that berm goes, then there's a lot of dirt there. But it'd be, put you right on top of California. So I'm hoping maybe that berm's right, maybe we just cut it a little bit. But that
Yeah.
berm stays there, it's really nice, because it's a buffer between you and
California.
people coming in and out of here, it's like you're hidden,
Yeah,
even though you're just over a hump.
yeah. So maybe what we could do is use a bit of survey money ahead of, because if we can get reimbursed with it in kind, when we apply, right? If we get it, and we can get reimbursed for it. Development monies.
As far as doing a survey like this summer to look at it.
Well, they're just just some markers, just getting some markers that give us okay, if we're looking at it, we see this,
Right.
we
Yeah,
know
where-
this is it, right?
Yeah, okay.
Something simple.
Yeah.
Not even, we just pick 5 points on the edge and we,
So you can only do in the calendar year?
2 years is what you said.
Oh, okay, well, then
Redevelopment.
we'd be pretty good then.
Reimbursed for that, so that could get paid back eventually, yeah.
So note that all these arrows are pointing south on this map. Did you see that? That means it's sloping. All those little tiny arrows are pointing south.
Oh, I think that's
Is that the slope?
no, that's just the mark they left for vegetation.
It's
Oh, okay.
That's like their planted area. whatever.
restored native plantings as needed.
Yeah,
See all the little arrows?
yeah, they are arrows,
Well,
but it's just the detail they use
Oh,
for
I see.
vegetation.
Oh, I
it
understand.
looks like.
But it is south.
Yeah.
And I don't know, did one of those have grade? I don't think so. I don't think they got that detailed on it, like, because in their mind, it's kind of flat.
Well, yeah, and we can probably choose the grade,
Well, maybe this has got contour, the one Donald has in his hand has contour. See that underlying?
Contour.
So maybe that's a little bit,
I guess. Is your line marked here, Josette, that's next to the,
there's posts, it's not actually marked.
There's a few posts there. And here that we had the
And
X.
We can find it.
That's your property line where the 6-foot cedar fence is gonna go. Right here.
Well, we talked about it, but I'm almost thinking if we just plant trees,
Yeah.
I don't know that people are gonna,
In the plan, it says,
I think they talked about that, but that's a lot of,
Yeah, it's got split rail.
it's got a, split rail seems more, yeah. Split rail could be done not expensively,
okay,
but,
that's your property line.
yeah,
Yeah,
for the building down there,
right.
yeah, the chip shop.
Here it says 6-foot tall cedar privacy fence.
Yeah, I don't know that I think as a
Maybe some
landowner.
marble light or
Or
something.
maybe just split rail and planting behind it, so it's just kind of like, hey, it's someone else's place, not, because until there's some development there of some sort, the privacy fence is so expensive to really block. Yeah, maybe we just do a little bit of preliminary marking to get our eyes on like, oh, okay, this is it. In relation to the burner, how, you know, it'd be nice to have one at the very back edge of this so that you knew the distance.
Yep.
Like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this is where it is. Because right now when I go down there, I'm like,
It's hard to.
it's hard to visualize it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I mean, I think we can do it with, I think we can find the funds for the materials. I think the grant could pay for the finessing person, right, to really do the work that we're not gonna do with
Yeah.
donation or our labor or staff labor.
I think we got a couple of contractors in town that run it good.
Yeah,
Yeah, we just pay them wage, we
Yeah.
supply the gas and fuel.
Maybe they'll do some of it.
yeah.
Yeah, we might get a volunteer.
Possible, if they could bring their own equipment that they're comfortable running.
Yeah.
To do a better job.
Yeah.
You know, that makes a difference.
Well, and I think if we rough it in and get a basic outline, right, and some marks in there,
Yeah, 'cause we got all the
not-
brush
yeah, it's
and
not,
things that are go.
it's not a terribly, it's just making sure, you know, we keep these distances so we can put these other elements in the middle. We don't pinch it or anything, but. Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be good.
Oh, this is right out in that, wide open right now.
Yeah, it is.
Is this gonna be on this agenda?
Well, you guys, if you decide, then yeah, we would just add the resolution.
Can't decide.
No, but I mean, we could bring it forward if there's consensus that we're gonna go that way, then we would get it prepared and I have the resolution already written, so Stephanie would just have to add it in. Did she send her packet today? Okay, so.
Well,
Yeah, I have one.
Oh, there is.
as of
there's-
10:05.
She said they'd be ready tonight.
Okay, so I can email her because it's in the shared file, I already prepped the resolution.
Today, and she said they'd be ready for tonight.
Yeah, good. I didn't know if she got it out because
Yeah.
It wasn't in my email.
I was on the phone
Yeah.
when she left work, so. But yeah, we could add it with consensus, if you guys are thinking you're going that way, she can have you discuss the resolution at the meeting, because I already have it written. And then we can just go forward with phase one, applying for phase one. And then as we get more numbers,
So it would be 2 phases, John, that?
yeah, phase
Okay.
2 would be yurts, restroom, paving, and and the electrical expansion. Because you have water, sewer, right? You have the spigots and you have the sewer intake, so someone can hook their sewer up to it in the primitive version with the sewer pipes. You just grab it into the system. So it's like quasi kind of. Just don't have electrical.
I like it. I think it's.
Okay. And then once we know, if you guys approve us to go for it, once we get closer to the things, then we'll probably propose those in budget. You'll see, like, okay, we estimate it's gonna be this much of material, this is where we're thinking it's coming from, and then we'll just discuss it in budget.
Don't want to shut out your system.
Right? So yeah, if you guys wanna take any or all of it home and use it
Yeah.
to peruse and think about it,
Give you an idea of what stuff out of there.
donated stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. And then I can,
The light order.
I can start sending should you vote for it on Monday, I can start sending the agency requests, because that was the only thing I held off on, because that's kind of a tedious thing. I didn't want to do if you guys weren't going for it, wasting time.
I would, first time been involved in a big project like this, and Susan's obtained grants before, I know that. A big project like that, it's kind of, I think it's best to do it in increments. And my question, I'm just learning, would it be easier to obtain the grant say we did it in 3 increments rather than 2, or I know if we went for the whole thing, we'd have probably a less of a chance of getting it.
Yeah.
And 762, it's more than half. But another thing you have to realize that the price has doubled since in 1 year. So
Yeah.
I think the way we're doing it is pretty good.
Yeah, I think the 3-part one is harder because it maybe splits our in-kind value into 2 parts where it's not as much. Where if we do the manpower to put in the infrastructure and the earthwork, that's the bulk of what we can. I think for the bathrooms, we're probably gonna either have to get some company to gift us yurts as in-kind or something to get the rest of it. Because if we had to go for another $1 million, we're gonna need 200,000, which we know is probably not coming from parks. So we're gonna have to be kind of tricky with that. Or maybe we get Westo to do a PR donation of electrical, or, like they do with the skate park or something. And maybe be more creative in the second. Or maybe you do it in 3 parts where you do all of this, and then part 2 is just the showers, and then part 3 is the earth, or something like that. That could be the 3-part, where you're asking for less and you have a better chance of getting it.
But I would worry that, first of all, you're going back 3 times.
Yeah, well, and that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying, like,
I agree.
ultimately, the yurts are not expensive if you have, the actual units aren't expensive, right? It's the setting up of them, but if you had a local carpenter that can build the wooden deck as a donation and you bought the yurts, the building in the shower bathroom is gonna be the next big thing. But if you get that in, okay, then you do some sort of collection thing or fundraising thing for the yurts.
It's amazing, they had $250,000 for the installation of the restroom. It's almost more money than the restroom.
Yeah.
That was
It's
crazy.
like, oh, because I think it's that kind of like a prefab.
Yeah, they're like a kit.
Yeah.
Just like all of our bathrooms have been a kit. And Romtech, it's weird because I think Titus, Dan, I'd have to ask him see what we charged, who charged us. But when we got the Spencer Park bathroom, the kit was like 11,000 and Dan was like 22 or something to put it in, right? The materials were like 11,000 and it comes like the roof panels, the split front, the whatever. And then he just charged us to pour the pudding and put it in how they said to put it in. And really, it's not much more, because they're block, it's not much more than a restroom, it's just like more units, right, more stalls. And instead of a toilet, you have a shower head and a handle. It's not, I think they
Yeah, is there a possibility that there's infrastructure in that 250? Rather than just,
no, because if it's like Anderson, we were looking at for the SDC study, we had to go find the original prices of everything.
No.
We were just like, holy cow, but the Anderson Park was only like, it was the lake bathroom was $8,600. That was it,
$8,600.
for 2 stalls on each side, or a urinal on the, right? So if you're doing it similar to Anderson, you know, I can't see it costing more than 30 for the kit.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, when we did, what did we do? Oh, it was Spencer, it was like 11 grand. And it's block, it's basically a cement structure with a few things of plumbing in it.
Right.
Which I think's, yeah, they're just they last way longer. You can freshen them up with paint, you can freshen the floor up with the new epoxy, you can hose them out, it's just,
Just make sure the floor on the slope to the drain.
yeah.
Yes.
Hefty.
Which bathroom? Oh,
Well, I think down there, they've got some that stand water.
at Anderson?
Anderson, yeah.
Oh, I haven't seen it, but maybe not now.
Oh, maybe.
When we put the new floor in, I think they did it all.
Oh,
Because it goes from the cove that way. So they probably thinned it at the drain.
I remember that, they put it in, somebody was like, floor's got
Yeah,
sides and the pool's water,
yeah.
now you gotta,
Now you got
Run
a
a
squeegee. You got a broom
and every time
squeegee.
somebody took a shower, the pool water.
Well, I think this is good.
I think,
No,
okay.
and
I agree.
I think, you know, cause the second round out of match is gonna be our Achilles heel. But if we can get it sort of operational, you know, we might not, it might take a few years, but the revenue, I mean, I did a back of the envelope calculation, 50% occupancy on here on just our going rates, and it's 90 grand a year coming in. So, you know, yeah, you're gonna,
Yeah.
maybe half of that goes to keeping it up.
Okay, yeah.
But, you know, if you're coming ahead 45 grand,
Well, and with the SDCs going up, that the income coming into expansion will also be a bit more.
yeah.
So, because right now I think Parks is $850 per house.
It amazes me how many times we drive through and Step Stewart is full. I mean, not just the.
Well, there's no
kids.
water feature, there's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's up in the woods and a dry spot.
How many, I mean, we've learned just, you know, traveling in the last year, how many people are just out on the road wanting to find places like this?
Well, and I have a feeling when you get it to this point where it's, you know, an enjoyable area, the stocking schedule, it's gonna be fully booked on the stocking.
Oh,
schedule,
Yeah.
Right? Every time,
Well,
oh,
yeah.
that weekend's full, weekend's full, weekend's full. And we can hook it to something like Rover Pass, which has worked really well at Anderson where people can online book. You can't,
Oh, yeah.
because it's just like, oh, this spot, I'll take that and I'll take it for this many nights and here's my credit card and it runs and
This
it's
is
no
gonna
brainer.
be huge.
Yeah,
Oh,
no
yeah.
brainer.
And
This is the project. we want next year.
Yeah.
I would envision there's gonna be with this easy trail and the fact, this is gonna become an overnighter
Yes.
spot.
Oh,
yeah.
heck, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, right in here.
Well,
nice
Anderson
little-
already is to some extent, right?
Is
They
it?
have bikers that come and camp in the tent sites. I think.
Yeah,
Those yurts and 5 RVs are gonna be booked for a year.
Yeah. Well, especially yurts because they're really hard to come by,
Yeah.
close to your home. Like, and they're fun, like kids love, like, oh,
Yeah.
come to the yurt. I need someone to sign these, sorry, I forgot.
Something different.
Yeah. But yeah, it would be cool. Yeah, and after this first fraternal order of police will issue.
All right.
I'll adjourn
Oh, yeah.
this workshop.
Do we have a consensus?
Oh.
Consensus to bring the thing to your meeting on Monday? The resolution?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now you can.
I'll adjourn the meeting at 7 PM, meeting adjourned.
Awesome, thank you.
Oh, come on.